What up, guys? Kevin here. I got Carmaxed. I got Carmax, and I want to tell you about it. Is that good or bad? I think it's both. I got the Carmax. I think I got the full Carmax experience, or at least most of it. I bought a car at Carmax, and today I returned a car at Carmax. So I want to talk about how that went. Started, I guess, well over a week ago. Have a 2013 Ford Fiesta with nearly 300,000 miles on it. Turns out anything can drive forever if you keep throwing money at it and repairing it. But I've had enough. I've thrown thousands of dollars on that car each and every year since I've owned it. And I'm like, you know what? It's time to move on. I wanted to go with CarMax because that Ford Fiesta, I bought it from like a Nissan dealership, like a used at a Nissan dealership. The next day, I had transmission issues, like to the point where luckily Ford took care of it. I think they took care of the issue twice. That's how bad those transmissions are in those cars. But other than that, like so many other problems with it. And I remember just really regretting buying it like the next day. So I'm like, I don't want to deal with that again. I never want to regret a purchase ever again, at least a car purchase. So I was like, oh, CarMax, they have a return policy. I can buy a car, it can suck the next day, and I can return it. And for me, that's kind of what happened. So they had a 2017 Corolla here that looked in really good condition for like 15,000, 80,000 miles. And, I was looking everywhere else. I'm like, okay, that seems to be in line with everywhere else. People say CarMax is expensive. No, they kind of are. They kind of are expensive, but the buying process, top notch, top notch. So I put in a internet request and they called me the next day and said, all right, yeah, we have it available. What time do you want to come in? I was like, yeah, I'll be there in an hour. Showed up. I think we chit chatted. Nice car salesman, not pushy at all, besides the max care, the warranty. But yeah, we chit chatted for like 5, 10 minutes. Told him I wanted to trade in my car. Hell, I wanted this. I would have gave them money to take my crappy Ford Fiesta. That's how much I hated and just wanted to get rid of it. But they offered me 400 for it, and they gave me the keys to the Corolla. Like, here's the keys. It's parked out front. Just go drive it for about 20 minutes, and then come back in, and we can either finish it up or you just let us know how we feel. We can look at something else. I was like, oh, cool, very cool. But yeah, that's awesome. I got to test drive it by myself, which is nice. So I didn't have to fake it. When you're test driving a car with the car salesman, you're like, oh, is this a horn? Oh, that's so cool. It has a horn. Is that Bluetooth? Whoa, whoa. Not when you're test driving alone. It felt like I was just driving a car. But it was a great car. It was the best car I ever drove. Again, I'm coming from a Ford Fiesta. Everything is great compared to that. But I loved it. Looked great. It looked immaculate at the time. And it ran smooth as butter. It ran so good. So good. I'm like, yep, Corolla knows how to make cars. And that's why I was willing to buy an 80,000 mile car, had 8,000 miles, because it's a Corolla. It's still going to drive great at 380,000 miles if I take care of it. Turns out the person before me that owned it didn't take care of it. We'll get to that in a minute. So, yeah, did the 20-minute test drive by myself. Came in, big smile on my face. Love it. I want it. And we spent about 45 minutes figuring out financing. I wanted to pay in full, but he was like, yeah, why don't you just finance and look at those options first? And I decided to go with that. He was pretty pushy on the Max Care, the warranty. But I got to say, it sounded great. I signed up for it. It was like an extra like $2,500 dollars, and I got the $600 deductible. Ugh. But then I was covered up to 150,000 miles. I was like, dang, I'm gonna be covered for like the next 70,000 miles. If anything like major goes wrong, count me up. But he was very pushy about it. Like even like took out service sheets. Like, oh yeah, the mark over there has $10,000. Look at this $10,000 worth of service that he needed, but MaxCare took care of it. And I was like, dude, I'm coming from a Fiesta where I needed MaxCare, and sign me up. So he got me there. Little pushy there, but I was going to sign up anyways. But other than that, took from the time I got in to the time I left less than 2 hours. Less than 2 hours to buy a car. I was like, whoa, that's a new record, at least for me. But then I got home, and then the next day, I started to notice things. I started to notice things about this 2017, this perfect Corolla. It looked perfect. It ran perfect. Started to notice things. The back driver panel, the way the sun was just shining on it, I noticed like little specks. I noticed like about like maybe 17 specks on the back driver quarter where the gas tank is and everything. Just little tiny specks of the paint just bubbling a little bit. I'm like, oh, I did not notice that. And it's impossible to notice until like the sun is shining right on it. So my suggestion is if you're buying a used car, it might be a hassle for the salesman or whatever, but I'd be like, hey, can I just angle this car in each and every way towards the sun so I can check out the paint? Because if I notice that, I may have still bought it, but that was definitely a red flag. I think it turns out those 2017 Corollas, especially in white, I think there's some paint issues, just some natural defect. But there was also a big defect that I am pissed I did not notice this. I am so angry. The front of the grill, there's like the black part and then the white part. The black part has like white paint streaks, on the black part. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure Toyota isn't that sloppy. And then I pull up the Carfax. There's like no issues with this car at all. Nothing. None. So, but it's not going to tell you everything. But to me, that tells me like, okay, something happened here where this needed to be repainted and it did not get reported. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And uh-oh indeed. So the other day I ran out of gas and I was like, this is a Corolla with like, I think a 13-gallon tank. And it was full when I bought it. And I've only driven it because I resetted the miles or the trip miles. I was at like 220 and I was already at empty. And I'm like, that can't be. That does not sound right at all. That does not sound right. So then I scheduled an inspection at a Toyota dealer and came back saying it needs new spark plugs, CVT transmission fluid, and brake fluid. About $700. And fortunately, that's not under MaxCare. That is not under MaxCare. That's just basic maintenance. And that bummed me out. I was like, man, now I got to spend $700. And it makes sense. You buy an 80,000 mile vehicle. Guess what? At 80,000 miles, stuff needs to be done. Even if it's a Corolla, you still need to get some of the bigger maintenance things done. So that bummed me out. But I was like, all right, I'll just spread it out over the next 6 months and get that done. Don't think I need to get it done right away, but I know I'll need to get done. But I was like, all right, cool, whatever. And then today happened. I walked out and I see what looks like oil leaking from the car, like leaking hard. Oh, yeah, there was also oil yesterday because I took it to the Toyota dealership. Then I came home, I Waymo'd home, and I saw like a puddle, like a good decent puddle of like oil in my garage. And I didn't think much of it. I was like, oh, that was probably from my Fiesta. No, that was from the Corolla. The Corolla had an oil leak. A fucking Corolla had an oil leak. It's a Corolla. They're supposed to be indestructible. No, not at all. And here's my theory. Every car is a good car besides Ford Fiesta. It just depends on the owner. Did they take care of it? And I do think Toyotas, they get really high marks on reliability because the type of people that buy Toyotas take care of their cars. Hyundais and Kias, they're not reliable, probably because the people that buy them are cheap. They're cheap cars, so it attracts cheap people who don't want to take care of their cars. And also, don't their engines suck? So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong there. But yeah, to me that was hell no. This car is going back. Took it back. Walked in. Walked straight to the um, lady, the concierge lady, whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm here to return a car. And there was like four other salesmen around there. Just they gave me the look that I was like that I hated, that I was not looking forward to. The you're gonna return a car? How dare you? How dare you return a car? And, and they're like, oh, why? What's wrong? Then I show them a picture of the oil leakage all over my garage. And she's like, oh dear, yeah, okay, I understand. Even the dude that was standing there giving me pussy, you're not gonna keep your car that you bought. He was giving me that look. Even he was like, oh yeah, I understand. So they brought like some other sales guy. The guy that I bought the car from wasn't there, so they brought some other guy, and he made it very easy. He's like, hey man, just can you go drive the car into the service bay, and we'll get this taken care of. Did that. Went to the spot where I signed the car to buy it. Same spot. Signed the whatever to I guess relinquish the car, return the car back, and they gave me a check for $400 for my Ford Fiesta. Of course, if I'm returning it, I need that money back. They're not going to give me my car back, but they'll give me the money that they gave me for the trade-in. Pretty damn easy. Like, shout out to Carmax. Like, the buying process, pretty damn easy. The return process, pretty easy. I don't even think they did offer to fix it, but I think they read on my face like, no, yeah, Corolla is leaking oil. Yeah, we're not going to fight them on this one. And they shouldn't. From what I read on the internet, it should be easy, and mine was easy. I just had that initial look from those few salesmen, like, F you, you weirdo. How dare you return the car? And that was just like a look. But as soon as they brought someone over to help me, he was very cool. Didn't question it. Just bada bing, bada boom. Took like 30, 45 minutes to return the car. And I had enough time to go to the Toyota dealership where I got it inspected. And I just leased a car. I'm like, I just want to lease a car. I want a car where it starts with mile 1, or in this case, I think it was like mile 15. I want to know where all these miles been. And I also I don't want to pay for an oil change. I don't want to pay for anything. I think Toyota pays for all that stuff. And if they didn't, I think I got the extra service, which was funny. I haggled them down to like no money down, pretty low monthly payment. And I get to the finance manager, that does like the final signing. Then he gives me a list of like 15 items to add to my monthly payment to like over $600 a month. I'm like, dude, I don't want any of that shit. And he's like, all right, well, we'll give you this one and this, some of the excess wear, extra warranty, whatever, for an extra couple bucks a month. I'm like, cool, done. Especially the excess wear. Love it. And now I got a brand new 2025 Corolla, and it drives about as good as a 2017. That 2017 Corolla, no joke. Like, if you can go find one that's not leaking oil, hell, maybe if it's leaking oil and you just want to go fix it yourself, those things run smooth as butter. But same with my car. But yeah, shout out to CarMax. At least the at least the buying experience and the return experience, top notch, absolute top notch. The vehicles, I start to understand why they have a return policy. That's why they have a return policy, because the cars may have issues, but also understand when you're buying a used car, you don't know where those miles been. You don't know unless you actually know the person. And do you really know the person? Like all the people in your life outside the immediate family in your household, do you know how well they take care of their car? Do you know how well they drive the car? When they approach a speed bump, do they like come to a complete stop, or do they just ram right all over it? Do they hit curbs? When they go in the McDonald's drive-thru, they hit a curb. Yeah, I think I'm really quickly becoming anti-used car. And I know that's what you're supposed to do. Like, oh, you should buy a used car that's a few years old. No, I will never, ever buy a used car again. Never. I'm like 0 for 2. I am exactly 0 for 2 in buying used cars. But shout out to Carmax for allowing me to take it back. And I've seen a couple dealerships out there that do that. I know Carvana does it. But yeah, I got Carmaxed, and that's my story. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll make another video in another few months, but I appreciate it. I'll talk to you later. Later.